Raditz did so much for Dragon Ball Z. He is Goku's brother, and no one even cares about him. I barely see anyone talking about Raditz. Searching around the internet for Dragon Ball can lead you to a lot of different things. A fully fledged backstory on Raditz is not something I was expecting to find. Dragon Ball Zero is a story about Raditz when he was 7 years old. It was created by a guy named Toyball, or I guess now you could call him the guy who does the Dragon Ball Super manga, and since not much is going on in Dragon Ball Super until next month, stories like these will be the next best thing. And after reading this, I feel like Raditz is one of the most underrated characters of all time. It really defines who he is. The story starts off 3 days before the destruction of planet Vegeta, and there is a tournament between the younger Saiyans. Whoever wins this tournament will officially be allowed to go out on Saiyan missions, so in essence they rank up. We are in the grand final, and it is Raditz versus another young Saiyan by the name of Shaloto. Raditz is losing bad. He is underneath the boot of a higher class Saiyan, and I really like how Toyball did this because years later when Raditz comes to Earth, this is the exact same thing he does to Goku. Raditz looks over to the sideline and we get to see a very young Turles. Turles is actually a part of Raditz's squad and he tells him to forfeit the match with a wink wink. He begins to take his foot off of Raditz, and as soon as he does, Raditz blinds him with sand. The entire arena is covered in dust and no one can see a thing. Turles now has the perfect opportunity to sneak up behind him and squeeze his tail. Powerless to do anything, Raditz comes in for the final blow and knocks him out of bounds. Even though they cheated, since no one saw it, his team won and now has a high enough rank to go out on missions alone. They head back to Vegeta, and as they're walking through, Turles picks up on baby Goku. Having a power level of 2, Raditz doesn't think much of him, but Turles seems interested and actually wants to visit him someday. Raditz's squad eventually stumbles upon Bardock, and they tell him how they've moved up in the ranks and how they can now move out to other planets. Bardock actually seems quite proud of Raditz and gives him this. Originally, I had no idea what this was, but that thing Raditz wears around his arm and leg, it was given to him by Bardock, and this was the last time they saw each other. The story then gives some dialogue about how Frieza was becoming frightened by the Saiyans, and they even show this scene where a young Saiyan soldier is fighting for his life. He managed to take over a planet in Frieza's name, but just as he's about to leave, these 2 Frieza soldiers appear, and this young Saiyan is so happy to see them, he's jumping up and down. But the 2 Frieza soldiers kill him. This was something that was never shown in the original series. It was implied that they all died on Vegeta, but in this, we see a lot more. Most of the Saiyans who were on other planets were hunted down and killed. Raditz and his team were sent to a planet named Set. Straight away, we are shown this dark picture of the other guy in his team, and it really sets the tone for what we're about to see next. They cheated to win the tournament so they could rank up, and so they weren't ready to be put in this position. They fight these creatures for as long as they can, but in the end, they just end up running. Turles is nowhere near fast enough to outrun these guys, thus he is crushed and assumed dead. A few hours pass and Raditz has been hiding in this cave. Over the course of him hiding, planet Vegeta was destroyed. Of course he doesn't know this, but he takes one look around to see if he's safe, and as soon as he does, straight away he is seen. As they are about to kill him though, the monster just dies. Turns out the reason it died was because of Vegeta and Nappa. This is how they first met Raditz. They talk for a bit, and as Raditz is about to leave, Nappa tells him that the planet was destroyed by a meteor, and so there's nowhere else for him to go. And that is the origin of Raditz as seen by the guy who draws the Dragon Ball Super manga. Take this story as you want. Personally, I really like it, and since Raditz never had an origin story, I am going to be sticking with this. Let me know what you think. This really puts his character into perspective for me at least. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next Dragon Ball video.